Welcome to the Credit Union One West Coast Conference Women's Basketball Championship Game 3. We have Coach Etheridge, Eleanor Villa, and Keandra Koritz from Washington State. We will start with an opening statement from Coach.
Opening statement. Well, just thrilled that we pulled this out. I thought our first half it was phenomenal. I thought that really obviously separated us. Played such good defense. We knew they would not just score 18 points in the second half. You know, we knew we had to score. We got to the point where we really couldn't, the foul trouble got us into a lot of trouble. They got a lot of free points at the free throw line and got us in foul trouble. And that really just changed the momentum of the game. And I just like the fact that our kids found a way to win. Different kids made shots. Different players stepped up in big moments. And that's what you need in this time of season. And if you want to advance, you've got to have players that can do that. So I'm proud of our team that was able to do that.
For those on Zoom, use the raise hand function, and I will call on you. We'll just go ahead and go with questions for the student athletes.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrato with the West Coast Conference. Ellie, you look like you feel like you're in control out there on the court. Can you just talk about your comfort level at this point in your career? And I think it was the first game of your career where you had at least 20 points and 7 assists or more. Just talk about how you're feeling out there right now.
Well, I feel confident by now because, I think that I experience a lot of different defense on me. So right now, I just want to stay calm and pose and just try to do the right decision and the right play for my teammates and just play with the clock if we are up and we have the lead or whatever it needs to be done. So. Were there moments in the game where you felt like, okay, now I need to go make a basket? Yeah, of course. I always try to, when we need a basket, go in the paint, try to get a look for myself. And if there is not for myself, I try to move the ball outside and try to find the open one. And Keandra, can you just talk about, as a young player, having someone who's got her experience sort of running the thing?
Yeah, I think it's amazing that we have someone like her. When someone is in trouble, then we can give the ball to Ella and she can do everything. But I think it's also she's a good team player as well. We all trust her with the ball, and if she can't do anything, she will just pass it out. And I think it's amazing, honestly. Can you both address the difference between the first and second half? You allowed 18 points in the first half and then 58 in the second. I'm sure your coach was thrilled about that in the locker room. Yeah, I mean, we were looking on the defense of it, and we tried to be as focused as we could about the personnel, and we tried to keep them outside of what they do the best. And I think that we had a great lead for all the game, and of course, in the second half, they went more aggressive. But I'm just proud of what we did, and just happy to play tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with Eli.
Ellie, with about 2 minutes left, they cut it to 8, and you end up driving and getting some awkward kind of falling away shot to flip in. Can you walk us through that play and how you ended up getting that one to, go in?
Yeah, I don't remember. Wait, I don't remember which one.
I don't remember.
You kind of drove straight to the basket from the top of the key and kind of faded away. That.
Well, I just started the layup, so it was either a turnover or I would try to get a shot, so I think that worked out good for us. Yeah.
Keandra, your first 28 games this year, you had double-digit scoring 3 times. You've got 3 in the last 5 games now. What do you feel like has evolved in your game and kind of has allowed you to free up for more shots and be able to get those shots when you're not just taking threes but also getting to the rim?
I don't know. I honestly just try to give my best and try to make the right reads, because sometimes I feel like I was too much only outside. So now I'm trying to run the first post down as well, which is helping a lot, because then I'm already in that position, I feel like. So, yeah.
And LA, for you, how much does Keandra kind of evolving that way open up the offense to where you have the ball obviously more often than anyone else, but it creates more space. It allows you guys to space the floor better, and teams really have to close out hard on Keandra, but also now have to account for the fact that she can put it on the deck and get to the lane.
It's so big for us because then we have always an option, and she's just a great shooter, so you always know that you have her and she can make any shot, but also you have her and she can post up with her size, and she's such a great player and she can finish in a lot of different ways. So I think that she has done like a great job today and yesterday, and she will tomorrow, and we need that from her, and I'm just so proud of what she's doing and she's bringing right now.
A reminder for those on Zoom to use the raise hand function, and I can unmute you so you can ask a question. Go ahead.
Hi, ladies. Brendan Potts, World Exposure Report. For LA, Lori wore a shirt during shoot around that said family. And can you just talk about the togetherness of this group and how that kind of helped you guys get the job done down the stretch?
I mean, I think that is the biggest thing about our team. We are like a great group. We love each other and we have each other back. And throughout the season, I think that was like so big for us, because it's not easy to like stay together when things are not going great. And right now, I think that we want to do great and we want to show what we can bring all together. And we have an amazing energy from everyone on the bench, whoever is stepping on the court and whoever is just cheering for us. So I think that is like what every team would like to have, and we have that, so it's great.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right, you guys are free to go. Thank you. All right, questions for the coach?
Coach, I'll just ask you the same question I just asked Ellie and Keandra. Can you just talk about Keandra's evolution again these last 5 games? It just seems like it's a different player out there, and someone that went from, maybe not sure if you can count on night to night to, she's one of your trusted players, especially these last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think Key's been, someone that is, when she's on, we have a chance to win a lot of games. I mean, and she's such a talented offensive player, and her biggest thing is, it sounds so simple, like turn and look at the basket when you catch it, because she can shoot from great distance. She's a great three-point shooter. And, and you should take every one of those if they don't guard you. And she's getting in with mixes where people are a little bit soft on her and she could score it, and she's too quick to put the ball on the floor sometimes. But she's also an amazing player off the bounce and her step-throughs, and at the end of her dribble, she can create right and left-handed shots and runners and outside her body and things that you just usually would say that's a terrible shot. And she has the ability to make those over and over and over and over. She has the ability. So it was really more of a disappointment during the year when she was struggling and couldn't find her way. And one of the things that she mentioned, she's so good around the basket, we tried to get her to quit just, running behind the three-point line. She does it to be a first post down, because she really can create a basket for herself. We don't have very many people, playmakers on our team that can create a shot for themselves, and Key is actually one of those players that can really, give her the ball in certain spots on the floor, and she'll create a really great look for herself. And so need her to have that offensive mentality coming off the bench, and certainly is a big plus when we get it.
Can you just talk about the mental fortitude of the team? I think, for a variety of reasons, this would have been an easy game to kind of, lose composure and just with maybe how some of the whistles were going. But you guys obviously didn't do that. They never got any closer than 5, and that was, in the dying seconds. With such a young team, especially when you consider a couple of your veterans were on the bench in foul trouble or fouled out, what did you kind of see from some of your younger players? And then maybe even someone like LA, who maybe doesn't have the biggest personality, but obviously had some kind of leadership involved in helping you guys see that one out?
Well, first with LA, I think you can tell because I didn't take her off the court. So, just trying to get her minutes off the court it needs to be a priority of mine. But, just a game where, she's so effective with the ball. She's a great ball handler, needing ball handling in certain spots. She's great, creating, again, playmaker. She creates a shot. She not only creates a shot for herself, but she creates shots for other people. So it's really hard to take her off the floor. Phenomenal pressure. Nothing bothers her. She hates to lose, but you don't really see it in her. But she hates to lose, but she wants the ball in her hands, and she's not bothered by pressure. The bigness of the moment, she's not bothered by. And then I thought there were so many players that stepped into some really, really big moments. Marta made a reverse layup that I thought was critical. Had a couple of runouts in layups. Tanya made one, and then I thought I think Shasha made 2 threes that were just kind of backbreaking, answered on the other end of the floor. Key made one. So those young players that, again, it feels like it's worth more than 3 points when you make it and when you take it, and it feels like if you miss it, it's a negative. And so for them to step into that and make those shots were, I think, key for us. And I think it's a great step for our young players to get to play in these kind of moments and succeed in them.
They cut it to, I want to say, as close to 7 or 8 before her shot, obviously. What was kind of going wrong for you guys in that stretch? How did you guys end up kind of pulling yourselves out of that spot?
Well, I mean, we just got some, over-aggressive fouls. I'm not saying they weren't fouls. I just thought the game changed a little bit in how they called. They were posting us up. We were trying to be fronting, and we got a foul on that. We played behind, and we got a foul on that. Out in space, we got some fouls. So all of a sudden, they were shooting free throws with 7 minutes or 6 minutes to go, and everything was just at the rim. And along with that was my fault. I mean, Alex picked up a 3rd foul, and I didn't get her out fast enough. And, my bench is saying, sometimes the bench is saying, let her play, let her play. I probably know better. And before I could get her out, within 30 seconds, she gets a 4th. And for us, that was brutal. Because, again, now they have matchups. I mean, she's a matchup that at least makes, Winner have to think about someone playing behind her. And they just went ISO ball in there, and we couldn't really guard Winner in there, and that created other things for them. So I just think the matchups really, they got the better of the matchups in the second half. And we tried to piece it together based on foul trouble. Alex comes back and picks up another one just like that, and we can't use her there. So it's a real credit to our team that we could piece it together and pull out a win when we didn't have some of the matchups we wanted in the game.
Cammie, I think you guys came in here having won 2 in a row for the first time all year, and now you're at 4 in a row, and it must feel like a great win streak. But how does that translate to tomorrow? You're playing a team that got you a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 in a row is more of a sad statement than anything. But we gotta celebrate any little thing that we have. So we will, and they're thrilled for what they're putting together right now. And Portland has had our number for a while. They put us in position to really have to make plays, and tomorrow is a game where we have to have really solid playmakers. And that doesn't mean you got to make a bunch of threes and things like that, but you got to be smart with the ball, and you can't, they've really hurt us with some of our turnovers that turn into easy baskets for them. So, a tough turnaround, 3 games in 3 days, but I know our team is super excited. They took the challenge of kind of scouting Pacific without much work and just film and learning the scout and doing all those things the right way. We got to do that again against Portland and know that we got to have 40-minute effort against a really good quality team that, like you said, has taken it to us a little bit.
Does this feel like a little bit of a different team now, though?
Feels like a team that I think that's matured, that is managing, the pressure situations, that are making plays in moments of, someone separates themselves in games. And, today we started out great in the first half, although I didn't think the first 2 minutes were. I thought we kind of got punched in the face a little bit, but I thought our last 18 minutes of the first half were amazing. And even that's a big thing for our team. It was a big thing. So, and then handling the adversity that we were enduring a little bit in the second half and finding people that could really create an opportunity for us to succeed. And again, that was a lot of different people for our team. So it's always an amazing thing when we can have 4 and 5 people in double figures, or 5 almost to the double figures. We can succeed there. Now we might need to shore up our defense a little bit in the second half, but excited about the fact that we had so many people close to double figures.
Hey, Coach. Malia Rood had 9 rebounds. One of them was crucial down the stretch. Can you just talk about her effort on the boards and how important that was to get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, again, just a freshman that just is willing to do whatever you ask them to do. And again, she can make 3. She can stretch the D. She's a little mismatched sometimes on certain people athletically in the post. but she's willing to do whatever that we're asking her to do. She comes in, she's completely different than Alex, and that's probably a great thing. She also screens better than anybody on our team, so she creates opportunities for other people, and she takes a lot of pride in that. The fact that she's getting rebounds is huge. The fact that she pulled that down was big for us. So yeah, we need that double punch in the post in the 5 spot with those two, and then you could add Lauren in there. That needs to be a little bit different than either of them. So really feel good about our 5 spot. We just need to keep them on the floor and not get into so much foul trouble.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Cougs.
Right, we have Pacific here for session 2 of game 3 of the Credit Union 1 West Coast Conference Women's Basketball Championship. We have Coach Bradley Davis with student athletes Sydney Ward and Darian Nestorov. We'll go ahead and start with the opening statement from Coach.
First of all, a lot of credit to Washington State. They shot the ball really well the whole game. It took us a while to get going, and then once we did, they just maintained and kept it going. So a lot of credit to them. A lot of credit to these two for kind of changing the tide and turning that for us down the stretch. But at the end of the day, it was just a little bit too little and too late.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrato with the West Coast Conference. Sydney, can you just talk about how you took that first half and turned it into the second half? You went from scoring 18 points to scoring 58 in the second half. It was a big hole to come back from, but just talk about the whole change in the mindset there.
I think first half we came out, we had a little spark, but kind of fizzled out, and our halftime speech really put that fire back under us, and we knew that we had a hard fight to come back from, but just like Bradley said, it was just a little too late.
Daria, I wonder if you could talk about your counterpart, Ellie Villa, and just what you see in her. She seems like she sort of is able to control the game a lot.
Yeah, she was on fire the whole game. We couldn't stop her. We switched the players on her, but we couldn't stop her. We had a game plan, but how we should stop her, but we didn't do that. And I think that was the big part of why we lost.
And Sydney, you guys got, I think, within 5. Did it feel like it was one play away from maybe being different?
Yeah, I would say even when we were down, however many, the biggest gap of the game, I never lost faith in my team, and yeah, that's all.
Any other questions? Student athletes, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can go ahead and questions for the coach.
Bradley. What did you say at halftime? And obviously, you should save those words because they worked pretty well.
Actually, Jovana Shubasic, one of our assistants, got pretty fired up. I got to give her a lot of credit. We did some talking all the way around, but Jovana had a little motivating speech there.
You had beaten them twice, I know, in the regular season.
Once. We only saw
once.
them once.
Okay. What was the big difference today, you think?
We didn't shoot well in the first half. You talked about a 5-point hole. I'm going to say it, that hole's one technical foul against me and one no tech against them, to be honest. That's the hole. Because they're a good team, and obviously we're all pretty evenly matched here this stretch. But we shot the ball well, a little bit better down at our place than we did in the first half here.
Does it feel like the women's tournament is almost open to kind of anybody?
I would say that if the bracket were halfway decent. This bracket is set up to be crazy advantageous for the 1 and 2 seed, which is kind of crazy when we don't play everybody twice. So there are teams that, you got a great seed and you can go out and get it. But yes, it's a pretty even field this year. So anything can happen.
And can you talk about Villa a little bit, just the evolution of her as a player and someone who seems like she's sort of in control and comfortable out there?
Yeah, she's great. She's a really good player, and she has been. I think she cooled off a little bit in terms of points and scoring. I think she started to get more people involved, to be honest with you, down the stretch of the season, and that's why they're better than the first time we saw them. But she can score when she needs to, and there were times that she needed to tonight, and she did. I thought her and Daria had a pretty good thing going back and forth. Even though they weren't defending each other the whole time, there was a pretty good back and forth going.
Thank you, Coach.